Hi, everyone. I'm James Garbutt.
And I'm Denny Dumas.
And this is the Garbutt Dumas Real Estate Podcast.
It is January 2021, and it seems like a switch has been flicked, Jamie. The last couple weeks of December, often very, very slow. This year was not much different, but first couple weeks of January is when a lot of people start thinking about real estate again. Phone calls are increasing daily, and we are having a ton of conversations with clients about game planning their moves for 2021. So we wanted to just kind of share with you what those conversations look like, and maybe this year compared to previous years, how our advice and kind of strategy for 2021 for their move is going to change.
I think a good way to kind of encompass it, what kind of conversation should you be having early in this crazy 2021 year? What we're getting at, there's a lot of change that's coming up, a lot of opportunity to go back on your contacts and clients and update them and add value to it. So Denny, let's go specifically. What should you be doing right now? It's January, and maybe you're listening to this in February, which is a similar dynamic. You're a realtor. There's not a lot of listings out there. What should you be doing right now? What comes to mind?
Client follow-ups are huge. Connecting with your database is super important. And through this kind of real estate cycle, there's very busy periods and then very slow periods. So try to take advantage of the slow periods, provide value, provide information on what is going on, what's changing, maybe some predictions for the year. It's an easy way to stay in contact with past clients and potential leads coming up. But it's showing them that, one, you're knowledgeable, area expert type of thing, and you're providing value to them if they are considering a move this year.
To be a little more specific on some situations, I can't help but I'll talk about two things. Fortunately, I've been in the business now since 2008, over 12 years now, and I've been through a few of these cycles. So I'm very excited to witness change happening that feels similar to past change that happened in, say, 2016. And more confident to be in a position to offer suggestions or advice, knowing that I could be wrong. But it is, it's the wager that you make. And what I'm getting at is, there's a big market of empty nesters and people that didn't capitalize on, that are living in detached houses and didn't capitalize on the market in 2016, say 2017. So a good one thing that I would suggest doing is reaching out to those people on your list that are sitting on a detached home that are looking for lifestyle change. But because they missed the boat on that, prep them to let them know that those prices may be coming back. 2021 in a lot of markets are going to see peak pricing for detached houses, but not all markets. There was some highly inflated markets back in 2016. So I think the empty nesters need a phone call. I also feel that the buyers, prepping them for the conditions that they're buying in. Any buyer leads you have, or anyone that you have on your database that is doing a lifestyle change, moving up, upgrading from a condo to a townhouse to a house. I think the prep that those people would value hearing is, one, an updated value, approximate value on what their place is and where you think it's trending and how you think the equation of getting to where they want to get to will work. And specifically, if they need to sell first or buy first, and if they need to buy first, what that's going to look like. Likely multiple offers, potentially subject free, and likely more than they want to pay today.
12 years, eh?
That's what you stuck on, is my experience, Denny? It's 12 years. 12 years. It's the longest I've stuck to something.
At what age are you an old guy in the industry?
I think 40.
I like how you had an answer.
No, I'm going to say 60. I'm going to say 70. 70.
Remember when we started, we used to always complain about people faxing us 12 different PDFs that we had to put together. What is that going to be for you?
No, I think the moment you are getting aged in the industry is the moment your age is more than Lionel Lawrence's years in the business. I don't know if for anyone that knows the medallion awards, he is the guy that is the longest standing medallion record. And it's like, he's been there for 60 years or something ridiculous. Really? It's ridiculous.
Okay, back to that.
Back to where we're conversation steady.
A lot of our clients are buying and selling at the same time. Whether it's upsizing or downsizing, I think having those conversations early in the year, just setting them up, putting a game plan in place, relieve some stress for them. We had a few of these conversations last night, and at the end of the conversation, a couple of the clients just said, we feel like we know what to expect now after just kind of putting it in place. And being realistic about market conditions, about what they're looking to buy, what they're looking to sell, to give them perception of how this transaction could go in a few months from now.
Some simple little things. I made a few phone calls yesterday to some clients that missed out in a bidding war, just to kind of prep them, because we've had some of these stories in the past where you have clients that never put that good enough offer on paper and they watch the market climb. So just having that prep where if you are offering on the next listing next month that comes up that meets your criteria, and you're looking at sales data from November and October, and you're saying, okay, X sold for similar sales sold for $1 million, I'm going to offer $1 million, and 12 offers show up, it's probably going to sell for more than the similar sales did. So the prep for the clients that they need to hear is, if you continue to offer based on past sales and you continue to find yourself in multiple offer situations, the fear is that you're going to watch prices climb and climb and climb in front of your face without getting in, and it will lead to a worse outcome. So I feel that for certain clients that are going after desirable products, they need to potentially hear the value of putting what might seem like an overpriced or a real strong offer early in the year versus being a little bit stingy on price point at the start and waiting, because we might be looking at a 20% lift this year if it goes as crazy as it seems to be going.
I think it's important to communicate to people that this is an entire think of it as one transaction. If you're buying and selling at the same time, what does the buy market look like? What does the sell market look like? If you are moving up from a standard 2-bedroom condo, wanting to buy a entry-level single-family home, New Est 1.2-ish, Tri-Cities $1 million to 1.3-ish, that single-family home, if it continues the way, if inventory stays how low it is right now, that single-family home in 6 months from now could be worth 20% more or more. Whereas that 2-bedroom condo that you're buying or that you're going to be selling probably isn't going to increase in value in the next 6 months, maybe 5%. So understanding that, think of it as an entire transaction. I think just kind of like outlining that for people helps them put it into perspective and maybe helps them throw a strong offer instead of a past sale offer.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a challenging year for buyers across the board. The aggressive buyers seem to, there's always those buyers that put that offer in and buy something quick. Mm-hmm. But the ones, there are also the buyers that are really tough to get moving, and those are the ones that usually get hurt by these upward trending markets. Yeah. One thing, the biggest thing here is there are some different conversations for 2021 than previous years. And a lot of those conversations that come to mind for me is these higher price points, detached homes, their market's coming back. Those people should know about it. And these buyers that are buying into a hot commodity need to know how challenging it's going to be and get them positioned to put the best offers forward early. Yeah. There's a good reason to list. If you're a seller, there's a good reason to list early in the year, and there's a good reason to wait. And then, it depends on the situation. But for example, if you are buying up and you are stretching yourself and you want to know your exact budget, say you're selling a townhouse and you're buying a detached home. Right now, low supply of townhouses. You're going to have an exceptional experience. Puts yourself in a buying position so you get that next detached home. Mm-hmm. And if you're buying a detached home that's, say, north of 1.5, a little bit out of the crowd, you might have better buying conditions. But I imagine the crowd is going to go and higher price points as we get through. Totally. So a good reason to list early in the year is if you need to know how much money you're working with and you don't like the risk of carrying 2 properties and you want to take advantage of, just put yourself in the best position to offer for the next property that comes up, and you're putting more weight on the buy by doing this. Yeah. A good reason to wait might be in a detached home. You might be in an entry-level detached home, which is what everyone wants, and you might be trying to upgrade to a larger detached home. In theory, you're gaining from the craziness as much as if you're say selling a 1.2 home to get a $2 million home, the $2 million price point isn't as active as the 1.2. So in theory, that would be a scenario where it would be maybe better to wait for the right home to come up. Mm-hmm. And month over month, your place should climb with the market. So every situation needs to be addressed individually, but those were 2 obvious ones that come to mind.
We work with a lot of first-time buyers too, and I think early in the year it's important for them, even if they're not ready to buy until, let's say, April, May, June, I think it's important for them to get out and see a few places, explore a few neighborhoods so that they can hone in on exactly what type of property they like and don't like. I think the market is going to be very busy this spring, and I would hate for them to lose out on a really good opportunity, on a really good place that they love, just because they haven't seen enough product yet. Often with first-time buyers, they are hesitant to buy something in the first 5 viewings because they feel like they just haven't had enough experience. So my suggestion early in the year for those types of buyers is get out and see a bunch of product, even if you're not ready to pull the trigger for 3 months. But you can narrow down exactly what you're looking for.
I think that's a very good point. We get familiar with the product as soon as possible, so that when the right one comes up, you're ready to move. Mm-hmm. Anything else come to mind for advice, suggestions, things that might be, I guess one little thing that just kind of I thought of is realtor specific. If you're trying to build your business through for sale by owners, expiries, and in that world, I'd be looking back at expired listings from 2016, 2017. There's a lot of people that came off the market that missed that boat that might be willing to come back in the future. So, little realtor tip: it's not all about the fall expiries this year. I think there's a good argument to go back a few years.
Because the last thing I wanted to mention, if you are buying and selling at the same time, inventory on the buy side is very low, and a lot of people, based on how busy it is, they're choosing to buy first again, putting themselves in a little bit of risk. So if you are one of those people, if you have clients that are looking to buy first, always suggest get marketing done early. So get your photos, get your video, get your floor plan of their listing done as earlier in the year. 1, you can start promoting it on social media. 2, as soon as that client finds something to buy, you have everything ready to rock. So we can try to line dates up and all that transition, we can make it work. But I think getting that marketing stuff done early, getting your clients to do the decluttering and do all that little stuff early in the year is could set them up for success rather than missing a date.
So January, February, early in the year before the chaos comes, these are some proactive tips on good reasons to reach out to any leads or clients or contacts you have in your database.